Hey everybody, it's Chris, GearNoir's TSC, here with you for my weekly shave video. Oh yeah. Today we are going to be using, what do we got? Of course, I've been using this all week. Well, more than a week now, straight. Blackland Vector. It's got a very well used feather pro blade in there. Fantastic shaves so far this week. I've got SV70th, and of course you gotta have the matching aftershave. Lathering that up, I'll be using my Sorrentino first anniversary badger brush, and then of course a little spritz of Guerlain Vetiver to top it off. All right, let's get going. It is Tuesday, the day after MLK Day. Apologize to anyone expecting a video yesterday. It was just too much going on. And a couple honeydew things to take care of. And had a friend come over, help us with the swapping out of some lights. And that started 8 o'clock in the morning, and everybody was home, of course, for the holiday. I had to get folks up and make sure they were appropriately dressed before the friend came over. There was just no time for video. I just had enough time for a quick, easy shave before I was ready myself. So here it is, Tuesday, and we're at it. Anyway, first week of Upward basketball camp for the church went really well. Well, actually, is it the first week? I think it's like the first official week because games started this last Friday and Saturday. And it went really well. We got out on time. In the past, we didn't get out. Those of us that worked, my team and I, custodians, wouldn't get out till like midnight. Sometimes later, depending what was going on Saturday nights when the basketball camp's going on. This time we got out at 10:30. No overtime. It was a big push, but we did it. So that was nice. Not having to come home so late and then having to wake up the next day for church early in the morning. We did end up, my family and I, just going to the second service Sunday, which is a little later. So we did take that liberty, but I'm happy that work got out on time. It was something I was dreading because we didn't really know the actual game schedule until like a week ago, maybe. So, big relief. But it was a nice weekend. It's been a 3-day weekend for me. Since Monday was a holiday, but it's also, I normally get Monday off. I got today off, Tuesday. And today, at least this morning, till people get home from work and school, I have the day to myself, which is nice. I still have a couple chores to do, but nothing too bad. Got some Netflix series that I'm starting since I finished my last series of stuff. A little bit of gaming to do. We do have to, another part of yesterday's projects, other than swapping out some lights, because we were having some flickering light issues, we figured out they were bulbless LED lights, super cheap ones at that. So like, there was no detachable LED bulb, it was all part of the fixture. And they've been our main source of light in most of the rooms for, excuse me, I'm still getting over some drainage from the crud. That kind of been the main source of light in the majority of the rooms is a single, I don't know what you'd call it, but this LED light, there was one in each on the ceiling, and one by one they just started flickering, and we, for the longest time, we're worried it was a larger issue with electrical wiring and stuff like that. Because when we got the house, there were no problems at all. But after like the first year or maybe something like that, one room started flickering, and the lights were good enough that we didn't really invest much in floor lamps and whatnot. But over this last year, multiple rooms were having issues. And so we pulled out the floor lamps, and not quite as good lighting as the ceiling lamps, but we finally, after the refinance that I mentioned a few videos ago, had some money to investigate. And of course, you know, you don't want to just jump into something without getting a couple opinions. So you have to have a buddy, actually the friend of the realtor that, the husband of the realtor that helped us get this house. Has a little bit of handyman experience and electrical experience. And at first we thought it might be a plug issue, because we have some older wiring. And sometimes installing, is it the GFI or whatever, outlets at certain points and tying into the wiring will help solve issues, because you'll be able to like reset, and there'll be a breaker part and stuff like that. But he looked at the outlets and everything. Everything seemed to be okay. They're all actually fairly new outlets and appeared to be all right. And then he actually, and I'm gonna get one today. Well, I'm gonna order it anyway. He brought some electrical testers, like for the outlets and amp readers and all that kind of stuff. Voltage readers, rather. And he saw that the wiring was actually getting constant voltage, so he was pretty sure it wasn't a wiring issue, which was a huge relief. But just to make sure, he thought then that it would be the fixtures that were at fault. And sure enough, we swapped out all the fixtures, took out all those bulbless LEDs, and there was some old wiring hooked up here and there, and some new wiring, and so that was a little bit of a mess. But we're leaving that for the time being, and with the swap of the fixtures, that seemed to fix the problem. We had lights on almost all day yesterday, even in the problem, what used to be the quote-unquote problem rooms. It'll be flashing like a disco bulb, or just be off altogether even though the switch was flipped on. But now there's no issue at all. I'm really thankful for that. That would have cost a lot if it had been purely wiring. And I picked up a few tips because I'm not much of a handyman when it comes to wiring like that. Electrical work. I've never dabbled in it. Nobody has really showed me anything along those lines. It's one of those things though, he was talking to me about, you just gotta be around it, get some hands-on experience, and it's something that becomes a little more comfortable. It's like learning anything else. Not gonna push it too much today, since I am gonna be at home. But I did want to get a decent shave in. Gotta shave every day. Love it. And this last week with the Vector has just been awesome. Very satisfied with my purchase. The shaves aren't so rough anymore. I think part of it at the beginning was just the super sharpness of a new Feather Pro in here. So, but we got it dialed in for the most part now. Some guys, a lot of guys actually comment that they don't really need a shave with the Vector after they get a good shave with it. And I mean, that's pretty much the case. It's probably the closest razor I have right now to using an open blade like Feather Shavette, and just how long the BBS lasts. So do a little buffing here. Some cleanup. Anyone who hasn't used an SV soap before, I would encourage you to try one out if you can. Some companies some online retailers sell samples. You can get your hands on those. Aftershaves are great too. It's really awesome soap. It smells great too. It's all vegan. Don't have to worry about towels or anything. But anyway. Back to what was I saying? So electrical stuff took about 4 hours. Me mostly observing and lending a helping hand here and there. And then I got a new drain snake, an automatic one, to help me. We've got also a little bit of a backflow issue with our wash machine line, and trying to get that figured out. There's a lot of gunk in the pipe that's built up over the last, we've owned this house over 3 years now, I think. And so it's going to take a couple times. And it's a battery powered snake. and the battery lasts about 30 minutes, something like that, so you gotta do it quickly. Figured that out yesterday, so it's gonna take a few times of running the snake, waiting for it to charge, running it again, just trying to clear out some of that gunk in the pipe. There's no real blockage that I can tell, or at least if there is, I haven't been able to reach it yet. So I might have to try a couple different access points, but we shall see. All right, nice brush. Didn't shed today. I'm happy about that. It's always a question if it's gonna shed during a shave or not. Nice handle though. Eric does a great job. And it looks like he might be hoping to reopen his shop in some capacity, so looking forward to that. I mean, they're custom brushes. This one is a limited edition run just for TSC. And Eric's a regular participant there. But, I mean, custom brushes. He's got plenty of different kinds of stock that he pulled from to choose handle type. And really cool. He'll do synthetics, he'll do badgers. I don't think anyone's asked for a boar yet, but I'm sure he'd do that. But mostly it's the craftsmanship of his handles. Really awesome. And it won't set you back as much as a Paladin or Simpsons or anything like that. I mean, those are nice brushes, at least the handles and the materials they use, but sometimes you gotta kind of question those prices. I mean, I guess don't knock it till you try it. I haven't been able to get my hands on one yet. Might like a Paladin here sometime in the future. I like the Harlequin handles, like the PK47 or something. But all right, there's that. Look at that, 17 minutes, way faster than normal. Just that width of the Vector, the way it just cuts through stuff. I mean, I have to be honest, like if I just left it with 2 passes with the grain and across the grain, I wouldn't have a very close shave. At least not the way I like it. I like my BBS shaves, and so I really have to do that against the grain, or at least some kind of hybrid against the grain, across the grain, to get somewhere. As you can see, even though this is BBS, I still have a shadow. And so, I mean, it'll dry down. I can feel a little bit of stubble, but it'll dry down to BBS. And that won't be a problem. All right, here's the SV70th. Got to shake it up a little bit. Really good stuff. Natural, just like the soap. It's got some high natural alcohol content in there. Plenty of skin food. The 70th scent is a nice, fresh, green scent. Really good at moisturizing on the skin. That whatever it is they do, you might want to call it like a aftershave milk or something. Even though it doesn't look white, it's kind of thick. Really good stuff. All right, and we're gonna top it off here with some Guerlain Vetiver. Couple spritzes of those guys. Some on the wrist here. There we go. Powerful stuff. I could probably get away with 1 spritz, but where's the fun in that, right? That all matches together excellently. I hope you're all having a great week. I'm gonna go get to my stuff. Hopefully have a cup of coffee, a little bit of breakfast. But anyway, you can catch the rest of us at theshavingcadre.com. Hope you join us there. We are approaching almost at 280 members. We're approaching the 300 mark. You can come be a part of that if you're not already. And I look forward to seeing you there. I keep a journal there regularly. We have lots of other stuff going on. getting PIFs done, pay it forwards, where you can have a chance to win some free stuff, shaving gear or otherwise, and plenty of conversations on coffees and fountain pens and making fun of each other. And bingo should be coming up in about a month or something like that. We took a little break over the holidays and making more fun of each other and posting shave of the day pictures, talking about cool, fun products and stuff like that. But join us, and look forward to seeing you there. Have a good one. Bye.